proper entrance.
It's lulling me to sleep with its dulcet tones.
Little Moon Sorrow getting us started on this particular Friday for the Mead Metal and MMA podcast.
Episode 800. Probably not. It's probably a lie. More like 80, 84, 85, something like that.
Somewhere. Yeah, it's. I'd kind of calculated it out. I kept thinking, man, maybe we'll hit show number 100 when we're down in Austin. No, show 100 is going to be, I don't know, like October, maybe November.
Yeah. Do it on Halloween. That'd be awesome.
That'd be okay. Today's like fucking Friday the 13th. Not that anybody cares. It's Friday.
I care.
It's Friday the 13th in July. I mean, if it's in October or some dreary like fucking February, maybe, you know, it's fucking July. We're getting,
that's when you got a lot of people out at the camp.
Yeah,
out camping by the lake.
People don't view it that way. It's a Friday the 13th in October is what people want.
It's scary, so it has to be in fall.
I guess, but yeah, nonetheless, Friday the 13th here on the show. We haven't had one of these in.
I think we had one while I was away.
It could have been, you know. I mean, you're going to end up getting one or two a year.
Yeah, guaranteed.
Just by distribution. But anyway, nonetheless, so Friday the 13th, if you're wanting to go, I don't know, slaughter a bunch of children at summer camp, be the day
He never killed the children. It was just teenagers.
Well, that's
unless
what
we're viewing the teenagers as children.
I'm viewing the teenagers as children.
I view them as drunk adults.
Although the ones who were getting at it in the second one, I would call those adults because children aren't doing that kind of action with each other.
Yeah,
so.
and one of them was like a young Kevin Bacon, but still, I think Kevin Bacon was in his mid-20s when he did the Friday 13th Part 2.
Yeah, goddamn, I forgot about that. Yeah, that guy's been in everything.
Yeah, you'd be amazed at how many currently big actors got their starts in fucking horror movies. Johnny Depp.
Yeah, well, Johnny Depp's about to explode.
Yeah.
He's about to devolve into something that's not a big actor.
Dana Carvey was in Halloween 2, a little bit part.
Oh, in Halloween?
Yeah. So the sequel, Halloween 2.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I was all right with Friday the 13th. The first one was fucking scary because that's what it was supposed to be. The second one kind of freaked me out because I was a young person when that came out, and it was on HBO, and that's why we fucking had on all the time every time we go to my sister's house.
Yeah.
Because we had just network TV when with my folks. So.
Yeah, and if you're lucky enough to have access to HBO at a young age, you're gonna see some shit that's gonna change your mind about a lot of things.
Yeah, I think it probably molded me into the person I am now. So
yeah. My parents didn't give a shit.
But and then the third one, okay. But after that, man, I checked out because I get it. It's a franchise, and you're like, God damn, this is a cash cow. Let's keep cranking out movie after movie after movie. I don't care. I was done. I was done after the second one. I would say
the original finish to it, the final chapter, the one that has Corey Feldman in it. That one's good. If they had stopped right there, it would have been perfect.
Well, same in what? The second one when they kill him at the end, or did they?
Well, they always kill him.
And the third one when they kill him at the end, or did they?
Come on, these are horror movies to talk about. You know the formula.
Yeah, the formula is like, oh, we're making money. Let's keep cranking these out. Which the downside is they didn't do the same thing with Evil Dead. There was only 3 of those. So, yeah, that would have been awesome if they'd have cranked out a dozen of those things. But
well, the remake was okay.
Evil Dead 2 was kind of lackluster. I will say that.
Oh man, Evil Dead 2 is that's my jam.
But the first one was like it really laid out what it was all about.
Sure, the first one was good. But when they brought in the kitschy horror and a little bit of the humor, that's when it really started to shine.
Yeah, Army of Darkness really is the culmination of all that.
Yeah.
So.
You didn't think Evil Dead 2 was funny?
Yeah, ridiculous.
I thought Evil Dead 2 was hilarious.
Yeah, oh no. I really do. I really think that Sam Raimi is like, what the fuck's everybody doing laughing at this? You know what? I think we might have a thing.
Yeah, well, this is all the same guy that did Tales from the Crypt.
Right.
So he knows the doofus humor in horror.
Tales from the Crypt, I forgot about that. That flick came out in the late 80s, right?
Yeah.
Mid-80s?
It was a TV series, and then they put out Demon Knight, and then that Bordello Blood.
Yeah. God, that one with Leslie Nielsen still always comes to mind.
Leslie Nielsen?
Yeah, and the...
you're thinking of...
or no, I'm not Tales from the Crypt.
You're thinking of Miller, Dennis Miller.
No, I'm thinking of... it was Tales from the Crypt, right? The movie, the flick.
The movie? Or are you thinking Tales from the Dark Side? Or you're thinking of fucking Creep Show, dude.
I'm thinking of Creep Show. You're
thinking
right.
of Creep Show, yeah.
Tells you how much of a fan I am. That fuck all that. But anyway,
shows how much of a fan I am.
Yeah, real fan of the genre. I don't care. Horror flicks, I'm not really sold on. But nonetheless, though, yeah, god dang, man. Friday the 13th, the granddaddy of them all, to where people in Hollywood are like, you know what, you can make money cranking out horror movies, terrible horror movies at that.
Yeah, I guess it all depends on when you see them. I saw the brunt of them when I was barely a teenager, so I was able to enjoy them. Now, upon reflection, I was like, yeah, there's 2 or 3 really good ones. The rest of them I could do without.
There's really one of my, and it's a horror. I guess it is a horror movie because dead people keep coming back.
Cocoon.
But it has and that would be What Lies Beneath.
That was a good movie.
It's a great movie, and the main reason I pointed out because today is Harrison Ford's birthday. It is Harrison Ford Day.
How old is he?
Dude's like 78, I think.
God,
yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, he's way up there.
Happy
I mean,
birthday,
to the point where you kind of don't want him to fly airplanes anymore. But that's.
Yeah, let's take that aviation license away from him.
But no, they gave it back to him though after that weird crash he had. So
Well, hey, here, take it for 30 days. I'm going to give it back to you.
You know, somebody in Montana or wherever it was at was like, motherfucker's Han Solo. Are you gonna take Han Solo's license away? We saw what happened to Guido, right?
Let's not question who shot first here.
But yeah, so Harrison Ford's birthday today. So what was your favorite role for him? Your favorite character? I mean, God, people, like 90% of people are going to say Han Solo. I would think.
Honestly, I thought his best role was Blade Runner.
Oh, really? Rick Deckard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that. I mean, but that whole movie, it wasn't great just because of him.
Right.
Everybody, Rutger Hauer as the cyborg dude.
Yeah. When they went for the remake, I thought, well, so clearly they'll be able to do more.
Was it a remake or was it a sequel? Blade Runner 2047?
Yeah, I guess sequel probably. But I had high expectations. Like, God, we got the technology now. They can really do that movie justice.
Yeah.
I think it was really only held back originally because we didn't have the technology to make it a great movie. Apparently some asshole decided, nah, I've got this.
Yeah. It's a bummer.
Yeah, I'm more of an Indiana Jones, I think.
Yeah, he ranks second on mine.
I mean, and people are going to say, man, Kingdom of the Crystal Skulls, Indiana Jones 4 was horrible.
Wasn't his fault. He didn't write it.
And, yeah, the problem was it was horrible, but not his fault.
Yeah.
It was horrible.
And it wasn't because of him.
No. They tried to reintroduce the Marion character, which they should have never done.
Yeah.
And, oh, by the way, you knocked her up. And here's your child. It's Shia LaBeouf, who everybody hates.
Yeah, and guess who's going to be Indiana Jones in the next movie? Shia LaBeouf. Which thankfully...
Which they immediately went, ooh, never mind.
Thankfully he imploded, and that never happened.
So, yeah, he's got a fifth one coming out. Do I hate it? Nah, I'm all right with it.
Yeah.
Let's just stop it with all the bullshit of trying to reintegrate people that fucking were only minor characters at best in other movies.
Really scraping.
Yeah. Ones that were not serials where they made a whole lot of extra ones. I actually kind of liked them in, what was that, 6 Days, 7 Nights.
Is that with Anne Heche?
Yeah, now she was horrible, but if you look beyond her, that one chick, I don't even remember what her name is, like kind of a French name, his girlfriend that stayed on the island with David Schwimmer.
Yeah.
Anyway,
she's all right.
Yeah. But Harrison Ford, I liked him in that role. It was kind of almost... it was almost like Matthew McConaughey's role, kind of in the Sahara, flick, and there were going to be a whole series of movies on that. Thankfully, they didn't do that. But yeah. So Harrison Ford, big day.
Yeah, also a big day. Sir Patrick Stewart, 78 years old. Here's to you, Captain Picard.
Yeah. Yeah. I know him best for Deputy Director Bullock on American Dad, so
I know him best as Professor Xavier. Well, actually, did you ever see Logan?
No.
Oh, dude, it's so fucking depressing.
Yeah, I superhero movies and horror movies I put in a real similar vein.
It's not really a superhero movie. It is the least superhero of a superhero movie I've ever seen. It's actually more depressing if you have any type of admiration for the Wolverine character. Just the way they shut it down. It's sad. Not sad in like a bad way, like they fucked up, but legitimately sad. Fucking Xavier is like dying and blind or some shit, and has weird fits, and Logan has to look after this kid that kind of has similar traits to him, and he's fucking old and tired and ready to fucking just be done with it.
Damn.
It's really great.
Sounds like almost like Sean Connery's last Bond movie.
When I went to go see it, I called it the realest superhero movie I'd ever seen.
Yeah.
Like the closest, because it really, the superhero aspect is not even fucking spotlighted at all.
Yeah.
You don't have Deadpool coming in doing a dick and a fart joke or anything like that. It's a straight up Logan story.
Yeah, and I had checked out one of the X-Men movies. I don't remember which one it was. It was when they were going through like X-Men, colon, one-word title, two-word title, something like that. So I don't remember, and it was like kind of like a prequel kind of a thing.
Oh, where they're all young.
I think so. I don't know. I actually got up and went out to the lobby and was hanging out and bullshitting with people. I was dating a woman at the time that really, really liked the X-Men and shit like that. I kind of went out.
Did you leave her in there?
Yeah.
You're a hell of a guy.
I was like, yeah, I'm going to go get some popcorn. I'll be right back. Like, oh.
Come back with no popcorn 30 minutes later.
Yeah. It was kind of one of those going down to the corner for a pack of smokes, like they did back in the 40s and 50s. And
Oh, shit. That is great. She probably didn't notice. She was probably enjoying it.
Yeah, no. It's probably better that way. So
Yeah. Yeah, instead of hearing just like, oh, fuck.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, and then just sitting there watching them, it was like, this motherfucker. It's just that. It's not my cup of tea. Having said that, got a coworker that's utterly just over the moon with all this new Avengers shit. But
God, dude, I can't fucking keep up with it. I barely watched Doctor Strange recently. And that was really just because I was on this big boner for fucking Benedict Cumberbatch all of a sudden. I watched Sherlock on fucking Netflix, and I was like, oh, my God, I fucking love this guy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a hard world in which we live right now.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm on the outskirts of it. I'm like a goddamn pirate.
Honestly, and I hate to say I'm kind of out of the loop, but Hollywood just doesn't do it for me anymore. I can't think.
It's tough.
I can't think of the last fucking movie I went to see. I legit can't. There's been stuff that'll come out and go, God, that'd be all right in the theater, but I got to put up with all these assholes and teenagers yelling in the back and shit like that, and I can wait for this shit to come out on video, which then fuck that, because I never go down to... We actually do have an operable video store left in this town, but I ain't going there, and I'm not going to buy it from Amazon or anything like that.
Yeah, unless that bitch pops up on Netflix, you ain't going to see it.
Pretty much. It's got to be on Netflix, I'd say, or Hulu, but they don't have full-length films on there hardly. So
yeah, it's more like TV shows.
Yeah, pretty much. And I keep that around really just to get my animation fix.
Yeah.
Family Guy, American Dad, South Park, all the classics.
That's right. You got to keep your mind honed, and what better way to do that than fucking American Dad, Family Guy, and South Park.
Yeah, the all the learning shows.
Keep the edges sharp.
Yeah. Nonetheless, though, you've caught us here on another Friday for Mead Metal and MMA podcast, and kind of bummed. Kind of bummed. We'll talk about it on the MMA side. But last weekend turned out being very average.
Oh God.
Turned out being very average.
Yeah.
This week, I guarantee you there'll be good fights tomorrow, because there's a shitload of people I've never heard of, and those are usually okay.
Yeah.
But, man, when you go to think and you build it up in your mind that a pay-per-view event is going to be an event you can't miss, and it turns out it's fucking not that at all.
Yeah, we've been really getting lied to by the UFC for the past 3 cards. The biggest card of the year. The biggest card of the year. And then the biggest card of the year.
Yeah.
And, of course, that's what we're going to be hearing for the next one.
Sure.
That, on paper, as of right now, it is.
And that's what they say about everything that they put together. But, man, let's face facts, is that one fight really, really could have changed the entire tone of last weekend's card.
Sure.
And
really the appearance of one fighter. And
Yeah, we'll get to it. Hey, Mead update. So for all you assholes who have been on our case for like 6 months now, we actually have our batch of Troublemaker, and it is bottled.
And we have labels.
Spent the better part of my entire lunch yesterday sanitizing and sterilizing everything else so we could get it all put together. And then Brandon came over last night, and we got 20 bottles racked. 18 we'll make available to the public, because 2 of them were a little on the dirty side.
A little on the cloudy.
Yeah. But yeah, no, really beautiful looking batch. The flavor development is really, really complex.
Yeah. Of course, I drank an entire bottle.
Oh, did you?
Oh, yeah. Of course. After that little sip we had here in bottling, I was like, God damn, no, I really got to jump in and experience this. This batch has been chilling out since a week before the new year.
Yeah.
Like right before Christmas, we got this started.
Yeah.
And
Because then we wanted to kind of try to get it done before you moved off in February.
yeah.
And it's like, all right, well, what's the rush? You're going to be back in a few months anyway. And then at that point, then it became a matter of like, well, we got bottles like crazy.
Right.
Our stock is getting bigger and bigger and bigger all the time, which is really going to keep us probably from doing any future batches until we can move some of this. I mean, I'm telling you, we've got probably close to 40 bottles right now in inventory.
Well, I'll start whittling that Troublemaker fucking number down because
and
that
then that'll
shit
get us back down to 20-something.
is great. The God, what? I guess you called a solid over 6 months. Chilled in a carboy. We racked it quite a bit.
Right.
But this is the first time where I've tried one of our batches and that sweetness of the honey has like been there.
Right.
Like almost we added a little extra on the back end. We did a little honey back. We did no such thing. It was just 3 extra months of chill time, and it showed.
Yeah.
Perfect fucking blend of the spices and the honey. It was amazing. I mean, of course, I'm going to talk up Troublemaker any chance I get, but this batch is different from any other one, and the time shows. The time putting into it shows.
Yeah. Well, and that's the other option we also have there is, and I've kind of bounced the idea around, and that is starting another batch and doing a batch of Green Man and have it ready around Christmas.
Yeah.
I'm just really reluctant to do that when we still have 2 bottles left from fucking last year's Green Man batch.
Well, yeah, but those 2 bottles are one we're going to keep for cooking.
Well,
right.
I mean, somebody walks up with a $20 bill, it's theirs.
Well, if they do want to buy it, just let them know how fucking hot it is. That's probably why they're still, and they're probably hotter.
Well, and I don't know. I mean, you might be the only one buying. Well, that's not true. I know one guy that's interested in a Troublemaker, but at long ships, man, we had a couple friends of mine that bought like 5 bottles.
Yep.
They've kind of been it, and that's a great batch. Our batch of long ships, this last one, we went over and above on making that really probably one of the more bourbon-like batches we have just by the toasted French oak that's in it.
Yeah, left it a little longer and paid off.
Very little interest. So apparently, like, everybody was on board when it was kind of a passing fancy when we first started, but now it's like, nah. So,
well, shit. I mean, mead's a very particular thing, man.
And it really is, and that's fine. I get it, and I get people going, no, I don't know if this person likes mead. Well, how about this? How about you try what we do, recognize that is real mead, and then if you go out and buy some bullshit, up in Colorado or something like that, nothing against Redstone. I mean, they actually have some of their stuff's pretty legit. But yeah, I mean, they do too much to mead to try to make it a mainstream viable beverage.
They turn it into schnapps. Turn it into Baron-Jager, basically.
They turn it into cider in many cases, I mean, we've still got that from Redstone in the fridge that I would make the argument that's more cider than mead,
Yeah.
But yeah, it's fine. Well, we make Viking drink. That's what we make.
That's right.
So anyway, yeah, we have Troublemaker. We'll probably get the shrinks on Sunday. Yeah, probably Sunday. I do have to get one bottle out the door like in less than a week now, so that means I'll probably have to slap a label on one. So,
yeah. Good luck.
Yeah, I usually leave that to Brandon. He's OCD enough to get that shit straight. Me, well, you'll know it's mine. You'll know it's mine.
Should be on sideways.
It'll look like Picasso put that shit on. But anyway, that's the Mead update, which now, moving forward, I mean, yeah, next week we'll be able to talk about that Troublemaker is indeed ready to go, but I don't really foresee any kind of regular Mead updates for a while.
Yeah, unless we get a weird itch or there's a neat tail.
Well, and I'll get people that'll say, oh, I didn't know you guys were still doing that. Well, yes, we are. Would you like any? I don't know. What do you got? Oh, so we're going to play with my memory now. Oh, okay, well, we got long ships. We got Runestone. We got
not
Green
an easy
Man,
game,
we got
man.
Holly King. We've got all these. I go up and down the list with it. Is what it is, and we've got a lot of mead. So, if you're looking to stock up for birthdays, actually the last big purchase was actually for a funeral.
Yeah, birthdays, deaths, any type of celebration of
Bar
life.
mitzvahs, you know.
Pre or post? Yeah.
Yeah, anything where you pull out a moil, if somebody getting their dick cut off, you want to get a little...
That's right. Did you barbarically have the tip of your penis removed? Here's some fucking wine. Enjoy.
Ah, Lordy. Here's the old grandpappy of wine.
That's right.
But yeah, we're still working on music shit, and but the thing is, the unfortunate thing is, when we start getting a whole lot of inventory, that means we aren't selling inventory, and that means that we're not at the available capacity to buy music gear. We're behind the 8 ball on the shit that it cost us to make a bunch of Mead. So, and
let alone the fact that we were planning on videoizing this shit.
Yeah, can't do that. Not for a little bit.
Yeah.
So, oh well.
Help us out, people.
It's just money, you know. And when I say sell you a bottle, I mean, you donate $20 to our cause, and magically a bottle of Mead appears in your hand. So
I could just start whoring myself out on Twitch.
There you go.
Like playing video games.
Hand jobs.
Yes, giving VR hand jobs, blow gibbers.
The VR type, yeah.
I could do that. No, it's tough, man. Unless you're fucking making dick and fart jokes on Twitch, playing horrible first-person shooter games.
I don't get it, but that's not for me to get.
Yeah, but hell, we got good at it. We could make 6 figures.
Yeah. Well, nonetheless, there's our Mead update for this week, and probably our last real full-length one for at least a little bit. A few savages will start helping us out. It'd be great. All right, on to some of the other parts of the podcast here. Oh, by the way, which we just sidestepped the whole thing, got deep into talking about Harrison Ford and about how deep he's getting into Callista Flockhart. Oh wait, we didn't go there.
No, but that is a weird mental image. She's like 80 pounds, right?
Yeah, I don't even know if you got anything for this segment. But how was your week?
Oh right. Well, goddamn. There is one thing. My job, especially working nights.
Yeah.
That's when you get to meet all the really cool people. And I mean that both ways. Like really cool, like legitimately cool, or really cool, like you let them know they're cool so they don't fucking come back there and cut your throat. Cool.
Right.
This is just a weird cool. I got a phone call about midnight from a lady asking about a room. I was like, yeah, we do that. We're a hotel.
Yeah, that's kind of part of our business. Yeah.
And, she's calling for prices. I said, they're normally $75, but I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Since it's after midnight, $67.50 before tax.
This is somebody's got to fuck off by 11, right?
Yeah. Yeah, 11 o'clock.
Good Lord.
And she's like, okay, that's fine. My son's going to probably be there about 3:30 or 4 in the morning. I was like, oh, all right. Well, got to let you know, checkout's still 11 o'clock. No matter what. She's like, oh, no, that's fine. That's fine. Thank you. Hangs up. Like, cool. And it's immediately gone from my mind. 5:30 rolls around.
Okay.
And this guy and his son show up. They're like, yeah, we called a couple hours ago about a room. I was like, oh, what price were you quoted? Because that's how I always know who it is.
What bullshit was I laying out? Yeah, right.
That's right. Like $67.50. I was like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I remember you. You guys are running a little late, but I can still accommodate you. Checkout's in 5.5 hours, though.
Right.
And the dad got really indignant. Really indignant. He's like, I thought it'd be half rate for checking in now. I was like, no, you see, that's not how it works because, I didn't explain to him why that's not how it works. I just let him know.
Yeah.
The reason that's not how it works is it still costs the same amount of money to get that room ready again,
right,
whether you check in at 5:30 in the morning or 5:30 in the evening. So you stay in there a few hours or all day, it's still going to cost the same amount of money to get it ready for the next day.
Sure.
And for about the next 5-10 minutes, this guy was telling me how his boy was here at Eastern shopping around schools. They were from California. And, this is going to be the next big basketball star.
Oh.
It's going to save this town.
Yeah.
Should give them their room for half off.
Yeah. Like the basketball equivalent of Rudy.
Yeah. And then the kid's just like, look, I want to get this room so I can get some sleep and go talk to the coach.
Yeah.
Dad's not having any of it. And the kid's like, look, I'll just pay for it. And then his dad says, like, oh, yeah, that's cool. I'll get you back for it. So apparently the dad was fitting the bill the whole way.
Wow.
Fitting the bill, but now the kid's paying for the room.
Well, a lot of times your collegiate athletes are the ones with deeper pockets. So
That's true.
Reggie Bush bought his folks a mansion in Southern California.
God damn. That's a good kid.
And when he was going to USC, of course, that is fucking frowned upon.
Then he went to the NFL and shit the bed.
Yeah, pretty much. Never was the same player. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have a lot. I've got plenty, but the problem is it's all rage. Went to Walmart earlier in the week, a couple of days ago.
Your rage stories usually start with Walmart.
They do. Well, because fuck those people. I mean, it's just
They're awful.
I try to go like at 9:30 in the morning because there's not a lot of people there. The unfortunate thing is the people that are there are generally those that have nothing going on all day.
Yeah.
So they're the ones that are collecting disability from the state of New Mexico for being fucking crazy.
Burning time at Walmart.
Or unable to work because they have worked their ass off to convince the state that they can't work. They put in a serious amount of work on the inability to work.
Which usually is harder than actually going out and working.
Yeah, no,
Keeping
absolutely.
up a lie is way harder than just honest work.
Well, shit, they had that one fucking guy from this town worked his ass off for like 3 years trying to convince him he's fucking dumb, he's retarded. And they finally went, oh, okay. After like 3 years, here you go. Here's a bunch of back pay. And thousands and thousands of dollars went straight out. Got an undercover cop in Amarillo, hired him to kill his wife.
Oh, shit.
Off
That
the
was
prison.
around here?
Yeah. Yeah.
What was this?
One of my ex-wife's fucking nephews.
Holy shit.
Yeah, he's a real fucking winner. Yeah, but he worked his ass off for like 3 solid years, putting in the work and did all this bullshit of having to do all this stuff, get all these evaluations, all this other shit done. It's like, dude, just go get a goddamn normal job. And then people aren't going to assume you're fucking crazy the rest of your life. Yeah, great. You're on a fixed income at the age of 30. Good for you.
Yeah, go get yourself an honest job and save up the money to kill your wife with.
Yeah. And maybe, I don't know, maybe not get your wife killed. I don't know.
That's a lot where he was able to trick the state of Mexico into thinking he was just totally stupid.
Just staying in Mexico, a bunch of fucking goons. But
yeah, true.
But it doesn't matter, though. I mean, if you work hard enough, after several years, then yes, you will then finally be able to live on a fixed income like a senior citizen. So,
I guess that the grind is worth it, but the grind is real.
if you were so abjectly lazy, yes, it might be worth it to some.
Yeah, I know a few people like that.
It's like, man, you're putting in more hours a week trying not to work than if you just fucking go have a job. I don't give a fuck what it is. Apparently, you can make up beds at hotels for fucking,
Damn right.
But yeah, no. So I'm off at Walmart. The other category of people that are at Walmart at 9:30 in the morning are the elderly.
Yes, we're gonna attest to that.
And I'm not even like knocking you for your grandmother. I'm talking about ones that are just crotchety old people that are really. I can appreciate a true curmudgeon because I have no problem shrugging my shoulders and just walking off.
They're the same ones you see at McDonald's at 7 a.m.
Yeah.
They go from McDonald's to Walmart.
They go to Walmart because their bathrooms are bigger than McDonald's. That way they can have their post-coffee and Danish movement.
Ooh.
And then go wandering around through Walmart. And
you don't need no paper for that one.
Harassing young folk like me, young bucks like I am, So I'm walking through an aisle, and here's an old blue-haired lady. She's like, hey, could you give me a hand? And I said, yeah, all right. So, yeah, I need that. She points up at the very fucking top where clearly I'm not Wilt Chamberlain.
Or they have the signs that are like, ask someone to get this for you.
Those very ones. I said, oh. I looked back down, right at about eye level for her. I went, oh, well, that's the same thing as that. And she said, but young man, I want that one. I said, oh. And she started getting kind of shitty with me, kind of an attitude. I was like, all right, I'll go get somebody. And I just fucking walked off.
Good man.
Yeah,
Good man.
Yeah. So, long story short, I'm willing to be neighborly, but don't be an asshole about it.
Yeah, don't be a dick. I mean, does being on this earth more than 70 years give you... It probably gives you the right to be an asshole, but it doesn't give you the privilege of being an asshole.
Yeah, the only thing I can assume is they're trying to get shit done, because they know that each passing minute, is one less.
That box of Mucilix up there is the one I want. Because I
Yeah.
saw it first, and the box hasn't been touched by human hands.
Yeah. No, it was just like, come on. This is the same bullshit right here in front of you. There's several right here on the shelf, but you want that one. All right.
Well, good luck.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Let me go find somebody. Fuck that. I had shit to do.
I'd have gone and found somebody like, yeah, I think there's an elderly person robbing the place over there. You might want to go check it out.
Elderly lady over there with a flowered pantsuit loading stuff in her purse. Just telling you.
I think she has a gun.
That's.
I need to go to Walmart.
That is that place and driving. Those are the two things that just brings out the rage.
Sure.
I mean, because God, we've got. I'm confident. I'm bitched about it before. We have one particular intersection that comes off the highway. This son of a bitch is easily like 75 feet wide, and it's a single lane though. So you have assholes crowding way over to the right with a left turn signal on. Say, hey, stop being an asshole. There is no line in the middle, but the social contract we have with each other would stipulate, why don't you get your ass left so I can slide in right and make a right-hand turn?
I never signed no such contract, people.
Yeah, I
fuck them people.
Things I can do without those kind of people.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, shit. So there's that. On to, I guess we have the metal portion of the week.
Nothing. Next.
Yeah, it is sparse. Now, I will say this. We had 3 weeks, not of great releases, but 3 weeks where it was really, really doom metal heavy.
Yeah.
Which we dig, you know. This week, it's a grindcore week. It's a crust metal week.
It's a technical metal kind of week as well.
A little prog thrown in here and there.
But I have something that I think is going to save it all.
Okay, well,
I'm not going to start. I'm not going to lead out with it, though.
Oh, okay.
No, it's going to swoop in.
You'll be the savior of this week's podcast.
I'm going to save it after we show how shitty a week it was.
Okay.
Because if I start out with it, it might lose its effect. But I do have a few stories we want to open up with that before reviews. Got a couple neat little metal stories that came out this week.
Anything involving Phil Anselmo?
Sort of.
Oh, really? Because we've mentioned him like 3 weeks running now.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I wasn't going to mention it, but now you mentioned Phil. The singer Richard Harris of Filter, lead singer of Filter, thinks Phil and Rex should reunite with friends of Dimes and Vinny's to do a reunion. I don't think so. I think you're done. It's been done.
The Abbott brothers were the backbone of Pantera. Just move on.
Yeah, and even that's the same thing Mike Portnoy said. He said, "Look."
I agree with Mike Portnoy. Oh, okay,
yeah,
well,
yeah. See, it's the life is not over yet. He just says, "Look, they've gone on stage with a lot of people already and have done this stuff.
Yeah,
what's the point? And it would be just cash grab."
Well, of course, you got the biggest scab of them all by the name of Slash. I'm sure he'd be happy to.
Oh, so yeah, Slash is the biggest hired gun of all time. Opeth working on a new album, and I was super stoked at first because the headline says. They're demoing a more energetic, more complex album. I was like, ooh.
More complex, really?
Yeah, more energetic, more complex.
Man, because a lot of people have been pretty down on Opeth because, look, I thought Pale Communion was all right, but, man, there were a lot of people that did not. They're like, this is not the Opeth I know and appreciate.
Well, see, when they said that, I kind of thought, like, oh, we getting back to, like, Orchid days?
Right.
Like Damnation and Deliverance type of days? And I read it as like, no, this is in comparison to our last 3 albums. Like, oh, shit. All right, then. So basically, we're going to get Opeth Rush. That's what we're going to get.
Well, that's I always hate to make that kind of a correlation because Rush is kind of a one of a kind. I mean, you know.
Yeah, well, I mean, but you know what I mean. They're really going to up that prog bar as much as they possibly can.
Yeah, I'll probably almost, Yeah,
how many times have you listened to Sorcerer since it came out? I haven't listened to it at all.
On the
day
it was dropped,
the day it came out, we listened to it.
That was it. Well, some good news here. A new release coming out by Led Zeppelin.
I've heard of those guys.
I'm assuming this counts anyway. Yeah, shared what the band calls a trial production test of a selection of photographs from the band's upcoming Led Zeppelin by Led Zeppelin. It's the tome that'll be coming out in October, basically chronicling the celebration of the 50th anniversary of Zeppelin's formation. So
it's a book.
It is a book.
We're talking about a book.
A book.
A book is bringing the band back together.
That's it. So, yeah.
Oh, man, and I bet it's probably going to be like $100.
Oh, I'm sure. They called it a tome. As soon as you have the word tome attached to it, it's $100
It's
bill.
one of those books where you need to buy a stand to keep it on. Like they have the huge ass fucking books at the library.
Yeah.
You need a full on dictionary with every word known to man. And that's like a 12-inch book.
Yeah,
it should be cheap.
That's what we're looking at there. So, yeah. I don't really care about Metallica this week. And
what the fuck? What's going on with Metallica?
Lars Ulrich, the song that marked the peak of Metallica's progressive side.
Oh.
It's clickbait. Fuck that. I don't have time for
fuck that shit.
Yeah.
I can tell you what that
do you have
was.
going on there? Yeah, the mark of the progressive side.
That's right.
Probably anything off of probably
anything loading after that.
Load, yeah. Yeah.
It's like, oh, no way, really?
Yeah.
Weird. There's a great AC/DC cover band out there.
Okay.
Called Gay-C-DC.
Well,
which is really funny because AC/DC has always kind of like been a saying for that. Going both ways, yada, yada, yada.
Right.
So apparently they take the songs and make them gay.
More so than they already are as the finished product by
yes.
AC/DC.
They took it one step further. So apparently Let There Be Rock becomes Let There Be Cock.
Of course.
Problem Child is now Bottom Child.
Back in Black, I'm assuming, is Back in Black?
No, but that joke is here. Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap becomes Dirty Dudes Done Dirty Cheap.
Oh, wow.
And Big Balls remains Big Balls.
I would think.
Apparently they got up on stage with Sebastian Bach and did Big Balls.
Well, and why wouldn't you?
Yeah, why not?
Man, there are some... I like really messy divorces. And those especially involving bands. This one's all right. Lindsey Buckingham got shown the door from Fleetwood Mac here a couple months ago.
Yeah.
He wasn't one of the founders, but God damn it, he'd been around since like 2 years into the band's formation.
It's like the Jason Newsted of the band?
More than that. I mean, Fleetwood Mac would have not ever got off the ground had it not been for Lindsey Buckingham.
Yeah.
But he also kind of knew that, so a little bit of an ego and kind of the bands wanted to get back out, do some touring. He's like, we're too old for that shit. They said, well, go fuck yourself. Goodbye. So gone. Well, but the thing is when you're around a band a very, very long time, you're allowed certain things, certain elements that you can carry with you moving forward. So Lindsey Buckingham apparently had a show somewhere and opened the show by playing, by naming himself Fleetwood Mac by Lindsey Buckingham.
What is that all about, man?
I think it's applaudable because everybody else in Fleetwood Mac are like, what?
It's like Steve Perry touring on the Journey Experience.
Or, who God, plug
There's
in.
a guy just rolled through here that did that.
Yeah. And, then you got, not White Stripes, Great White.
Great White.
Yeah, like Jack White's Great White, not to be confused with the rest of the Great White Band,
God damn.
Yeah, so it's I always like to see messy things like that. Brings my heart some joy. Not in our format at all. We talk about the Jayhawks, though, put out a new one today, and that's kind of my bag. It's going to be my new napping music.
Fuck that, it ain't metal. Moving on.
Yep. I'm just kidding. It's alt country is what it is, kind of.
Alt country.
Alt folk. Alt folk, maybe.
I'd love to see a list of all the subgenres of music.
It's mind-boggling,
It'd be
actually.
huge. Did you hear that Beatles cover that Rob Zombie and Marilyn Manson did?
No, I did not.
They covered Helter Skelter, and it's kind of good. Like you hear Rob Zombie and Marilyn Manson, and you hear Beatles cover, you know what it's going to sound like.
Wow.
It's going to be a lot of techno sounds in there, but it's pretty goddamn rockin'. I approve.
Oh, okay. Well, might have to close out with that one then. That'd be all right. What else you got for us for metal story time for us this week, Uncle Brandon?
Well, sit right down, children's. Serge Tankian from System of a Down put out a statement the other day on Facebook, I think.
Okay.
People have been really bitching for a new System of a Down album.
For some reason, right.
Well, they have a rabid fan base.
Yeah,
they really do.
And understandably so, but you got to understand when certain things aren't coming back.
Yeah. But no, there was never a reason given. They put out Mesmerize and Hypnotize in 2006, 2007. It was a double album. And then Serge is like, I'm out.
Right.
We're taking a break. We might be back. We might not. And here it is fucking over 10 years later, and it's...
See, Maynard does it, and everybody says he's a genius.
Yeah. Well, people all like Maynard. That's the difference.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people are not a fan of Sturgis because they always blamed him for there not being any new system content.
Right.
Well, he put out a statement basically saying, listen, the reason why there's no new System of a Down music is because we all want to do what we think is the best type of music. We're all clashing heads all the time. And he let it be known that double album, Mesmerize and Hypnotize, like, I didn't even want to do that album. But Darren, the guitar player, wanted to do that album and wanted to take over a lot of the writing duties and shit. And he was making a lot of bank, apparently, compared to everybody else.
Which will also end up pretty much precipitating
that'll fracture a band, no doubt.
Yeah, collapse of any band.
So he says, look, we're trying to get it where the money is equal, the respect is equal, and the writing is equal.
Well, good luck, because I think the respect is already gone.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, Darren's already put out like 3 songs for his Scars on Broadway, and all 3 songs sound like they could be on a new System of a Down album.
Yeah.
So if you want the new System of a Down album, just buy new Scars on Broadway.
Yeah, you know, and I mean, it's fine. I hate it for the fans, you know, because the fan base, that's why fucking
people. I mean, I really enjoyed System of a Down between 2. Well, I saw them live at Texas Stadium at the Summer Sanitarium tour with Metallica. And this was when their first album came out. They were still relatively unknown. They came out first. They had great fucking... We were down there on the goddamn turf. It was great. But then they got big, and then it just changed.
Yeah, as you often see it does. And it's usually especially true when there's a lot of different artists that are not working as a band but working individually.
Yeah.
But,
well, you got any releases you'd like to talk about, my friend?
No. Not off of this week?
Well,
no.
I mean... This is not technically the biggest release of all time. It just struck me in a right spot. I'm going to say a name, and I'm going to see if you can recognize it.
Oh, word association. Okay.
Yeah. Tim Cappello.
Acapella. Okay. Tim Cappello.
Cappello.
No idea.
Nothing?
Nope.
Okay. I will say another word.
Okay.
Saxophone.
Is he the dude from Lost Boys?
There you go.
Really?
Yes. The sax man from Lost Boys.
The sax man from Lost Boys.
He's putting out his first solo album. It came out today.
Why?
It's called Blood on the Reed. I bought a personalized signed CD today. It should be here in a week. It's called Blood on the Reed. Yeah, it's in the mail. I shit you not, dude.
It's called Blood on the Shank, Shit on the Shaft. Is that what you said?
I know. That's the name of the porn he was in right after Lost Boys.
Yeah.
It's called Blood on the Reed. It's not available on like Spotify or YouTube or anything yet.
Oh, okay. Because, you know, old guys know that I don't want people ripping me off. Look at Gene Simmons.
Yeah, this is the guy from Lost Boys that did the song I Still Believe, which out of all the songs, well, really, Cry Little Sister is the only one that's ever been covered a lot off of the Lost Boys soundtrack.
Right.
I Still Believe is the greatest song on that show. Greatest song.
That's... I don't want to say it was a great soundtrack, but it was a solid soundtrack.
Like the orchestrated parts were shitty.
Yeah.
Because it was all synth and it wasn't done really well.
Right.
But the 2 songs, Cry Little Sister and I Still Believe, which is actually a cover of I can't remember the original name of the song, but it's not his original track.
Wow.
But there is an updated version on this album, which is why I bought it.
God.
I have Tim Cappello. I bet right now he's at his table writing down my personalized.
Well, yeah, because what else is he fucking going to do?
Exactly. I'm taking advantage of a fucking prime opportunity here. It was $15.
You could probably throw him $80 and he'd hang out with you for an evening.
I could probably put a write down. I love sucking penis, Tim Cappello, and he'd do it because goddamn it, that's $15.
Well,
but I would never do that because I'm a huge Tim Cappello fan just for that one fucking thing.
Jesus.
So that came out today. It has been ordered today. As soon as it comes in, I will have a full review. Well, really, I just want the new version of I Still Believe. That's the only reason I bought it. God, and to have the sexy ab guy from fucking Lost Boys send me a CD.
Yeah, who probably looks like me now.
It's actually I'll give him this. He does. Well, he doesn't. He wears a shirt now.
Of course,
but he's a lot more pasty.
Yeah, well, you know, the old days of hanging out on the beach and getting tan all the time.
Yeah, now it's like, oh, the sun's bad. Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
Yeah, you reach a certain age and, like, melanoma becomes your greatest fear. Yeah.
But he's still, he sings in a lower register now because, you know, like, fucking I Still Believe.
Yeah.
It's a little lower now.
Of course.
But it's still rocking. That's one of my favorite fucking songs of the 80s. When it gets here, I'm going to listen to the whole fucking thing, and I'll have like a 30-minute review next week, hopefully.
Fun.
But really, I just bought it for, one, the autograph, and two, a newer version of I Still Believe.
Yeah, well, I can't talk shit. I got Ted Nugent's autograph in one of his books. That.
Oh, there you go. An equally crazy man.
Yeah.
You know, a funny side note, then we'll move on. There was a comic book continuance of The Lost Boys, like a sequel basically in comic book form. And after...
The Lost Boys came off a graphic novel, right?
No, that was
really?
a legitimate 80s fucking fever dream of a movie.
Well, shit, that's all right. Okay.
In the comic books that were basically the sequel, the sax man turns out to be the new leader. Not the new leader. He turns out to be a vampire that helps the Frog Brothers, the comic book salesman, Corey Feldman, that other dude.
Corey Haim.
Feldman. Corey Haim's the one that's dead.
Yeah. Well, you had Corey in that movie, but yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, Corey Feldman was the part of the Frog Brothers, though. Corey Haim was in the family that moved to San...
Yeah.
I was about to say San Dimas.
Yeah.
That's a different movie.
Somewhere through there.
But yeah, he was a vampire, helped them fucking fight the new vampires in the sequel. Which Tim Cappello should have come back for that role if they'd ever made a movie out of it. I'd have watched it.
Yeah, I'm good. Okay. That is our metal segment for the week.
Ending with saxophone rock.
And on to the MMA portion, which really, it's nothing but sadness involving UFC 226.
It's funny how one fight can fucking ruin a whole evening.
Yeah, well, and here's the whole thing. And the UFC really, really makes this abundantly clear, and that is that they have different viewership on the early prelims, the ones that are over Fight Pass. You have to have your rabid fans, well, that's you and I.
Right.
Tune in and catch those. Then their prelims come on Fox Sports 1.
Excuse us.
That's a little more of a rabid fan base, but you're getting your casual fans late.
Right.
And they constantly roll more B-roll and other promo material during that shit, trying to get people to buy the pay-per-view. Fine.
Yeah.
Pay-per-view comes along. Well, that's where your real fans are at, because these are people willing to throw cash. And unfortunately, we were the suckers that did just that last week. But anyway, in so breaking it down into those kind of segments, you can't really go, hey, the whole card was great. I think the exception being, if you're there, if you're live, it's all one card.
Yeah.
But it is broken up by our TV viewing because we've got to change how we're watching it, how we're able to consume the content.
Because we don't live in Britain where we can apparently watch the whole thing on Fight Pass.
Right. Yeah. No. So you have to have Fight Pass for the first part of it. You have to have Fox Sports 1 for the prelims. You have to go buy it for the pay-per-view or take your chances on other shit. But
basically, Fight Pass, Fox Sports 1, then back to Fight Pass.
So it's very different of, and you can get the delineation of where the card is at. And as a result, it's really doing the UFC no favors because. So there were 5 fights on the main card.
Yeah.
Well, the problem is one of those, which I thought was going to be a fight of the year, which I was okay with then throwing down the money on the pay-per-view. I thought, look, there is no way that the Derek Lewis fight is going to be anything less than great. You know, fighting Francis Ngannou, who basically separated Alistair Overeem from his soul. Derek Lewis, who
separates everyone from their souls, no matter what. This guy finishes a majority of his fights. I think he hadn't finished one.
And much to our horror, and this is the co-main, right?
Yeah. When the featherweight title fight got pulled, this got bumped up to co-main.
So much to our horror, yeah, we're watching basically Derek Lewis and Francis Ngannou dance around the octagon, throwing maybe like, I don't know, 8 or 12 fucking punches the entire first round.
I'm gonna pull up the fight metric stats for that fight.
It's ridiculous. I mean, you might be thinking, Kevin, you're obviously making this shit up. Yeah, there might have been 20 something, but for significant strikes, it was down in the single digits. I'm pretty sure
there were. I don't know if it was a record or not, but it was certainly fucking notable.
And it took any amount of air out of the sails of that fight card. Immediately.
Let's see. Significant strikes. Francis Ngannou. Well, I will start with Derek Lewis. Derek Lewis, 20 of 54. 54 significant strikes thrown. Total strikes, 20 of 54. They were all significant that he threw. In 3 rounds. 0 for 2 on takedown D.
Averaging 7 punches per 5-minute round.
37% fucking accuracy. Francis Ngannou, 11 of 46. and that was his total strikes, no takedown attempts. He landed on 1 of 7 in the first round. He successfully landed a punch.
I mean, it's oh my God, it was a pay-per-view.
I don't get it.
People in Las Vegas were booing him, rightly so. Oh, a little flicker. Might lose a little power here.
Oh, man. Storm's coming.
Storm is coming. Well, it'd be a shame if we had to.
You called down the thunder. Well, now you got it.
Yeah. But
I hope you die.
but it look, and I mean, there are some people that are Cormier fans that were all really, jacked up because he knocked out Stipe.
Good for him.
Miocic. Yeah, fine. That's fine. My biggest problem is always going to be John Jones has owned him twice.
What I can't understand, the only thing that really bothered me about Stipe getting beat is why the fuck he wanted to keep it so close.
Right.
Why did he want to get in and get dirty with him? Why did he want to do all the clinch shit? When he's got an 8-inch reach advantage, he knocked out Fabricio backpedaling. This guy should have kept it a distance, and he probably would have had a little more success. We would have gotten out of that first round at least.
Yeah.
But there were some bright spots on this card. It was good to see Anthony Pettis do what he did to Michael Chiesa.
Yeah, especially because Chiesa, God, that guy went from being one of my more favorite fighters, maybe.
Yeah. After that Kevin Lee fight, man, everything changed.
Yeah, he's truly a real whiny little bitch.
Right. Khalil Roundtree's TKO of Gokinsaki, that was good. That was a good way to open.
Casual fans don't know who he is.
Yeah. It was still, but in my opinion, it was a good way to open the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
It started it off on the right foot, and then the submission win for Pettis. I was like, shit, man, we're really going here. Mike Perry and Paul Felder was a great fight. Even with Felder's broken fucking hand, he nearly won it.
Yeah, I mean, and that's one. I mean, a lot of times I'll look at it and say, man, I want to see a finish on a pay-per-view card. Well, sometimes, and this was the exception, you can get a decision finish off of a fight that was really just back and forth, and you just really didn't know who it was that was going to pull off the victory.
Yeah. I don't know why we didn't get a fight of the night for this. We got 4 performances in that.
Yeah, I mean, they wanted to make sure that because the promotion does not like Stipe, so they didn't want to give fight of the night.
Well, fight of the night wasn't. You don't get a fight of the night for a first-round finish. Mike Perry and Paul Felder should have gotten fight of the night.
Yeah. But I mean, one way or the other, the promotion is going to make sure DC came away with something, but not Stipe.
Sure. Well, if that fight had gone 5 rounds, they would have given it fight of the night.
Maybe.
So, I think they would have.
I think at some point they would have to.
There were a lot of fights that went the distance here.
But they did. They gave out a lot of performance bonuses.
Yeah, Cormier got it, Pettis got it, Roundtree got it, and Paulo Costa got it, and that was probably one of the more bigger deserved ones when he TKO'd Uriah Hall.
Yeah, on the
which we'll probably not see in the UFC for a while.
Or maybe ever again. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I really think that Uriah Hall, I think that they have given him a lot of chances. And how many people really knew Paulo Costa before that fight? I mean,
your hardcores would.
They might know him now, but come on, man. Uriah Hall should have dominated.
Paulo was first round finishing everybody.
Yeah. But that was the whole thing. It was supposed to be, now he's moving up, facing some real competition. And Uriah Hall, and it's Uriah Hall's chance for a little bit of redemption and be able to get him back on track. I really don't. I think it derailed any effort
absolutely.
Of even staying in the promotion, I think.
The only people that really got help out of this card were probably Pettis, Cormier, and Roundtree.
Yeah.
Everybody else they didn't gain any ground. Cormier is now the number 1 pound-for-pound fighter, of course.
And they're going to allow him to keep 2 belts at one time, even though they did not allow Conor McGregor because the reasoning was flawless. They said you can't, you don't have time to defend 2 belts at one time. But yet they're going to allow Daniel Cormier because he said he's going to retire next March.
He's a company man.
I know, but he's going to retire next March. They've got it all laid out for him already.
And it works out fine. I think he probably defends. Here's what he's going to do: defend that light heavyweight belt while he's heavyweight champ. Get that accolade under his belt. It'll probably be against. I guarantee you, fucking Shogun, or it'll be Shogun or Dos Santos. If Dos Santos wins Saturday, his chances go up for light. Or no, that's fucking heavyweight.
Yeah,
that dance card's already spoken for. But Shogun has a chance, and it's an easy fight for Cormier to go in and win.
Yeah, no, that guy. That would be horrible.
Yoel Romero, though, that's a different story.
Yoel moved up to 205. That's a whole different deal.
Yeah, 2 guys that basically there will be no height advantage because they're both pretty short. Cormier is 5'11". I think Yoel is 5'11" as well.
Right.
But Yoel, goddamn, I think I was listening to Rogan's podcast a while back. Said he was walking around at like 225, 230.
Right.
This guy shouldn't even be cutting for light heavyweight, and he's cutting for middleweight.
Yeah.
I would fucking pay to see Yoel and Cormier go at it.
That one would
Two
be that's the
Olympic
most
level
that's the
fucking
most
wrestlers.
intriguing because you can't make me care about Gustafson.
Yeah, I'd like to see him finally get some justice.
Maybe, but it's. I think when you've had the opportunity to lay it out there and you were able to do nothing with it, then that's just aggravating.
Well, shit, this guy has come within just a cunt hair of fucking beating both John Jones and Cormier.
Yeah, but the Cormier one was a little that was not as much in question as the Jones fight, but
No, I thought the Jones fight. I thought Gustafson won that fight.
yeah.
And the Cormier fight, the argument could have been made. It wasn't as black and white, but the argument could have still been made. But that champion's fucking advantage, man.
Right. Yep. All right. Coming up tomorrow. So 226 will go down as a meh.
Yeah. Another international fight week kind of pissed away.
Yeah. I need to learn my lesson and just know cards aren't going to hold up. The things that we expect are going to just be mind-blowing or not.
Yeah. However, the card after fight week always seems to be awesome.
Yeah. Well,
and
I said, and tomorrow we're going to have a whole lot of people I've never heard of on a card, and they will do very well. I think that'll be a very entertaining card tomorrow. I only recognize a couple of fighters off of the whole fucking thing, and I'm kind of a fan.
Well, we got Liz Carmouche.
Right.
Fighting at flyweight.
I didn't realize she was still active, but yeah.
Me neither. Hey, that's Ronda's first challenger.
All right.
So that's why she's going to still have a job. Darren the Damage Elkins fighting tomorrow against Alexander Volkanovski. Kat Zingano coming back. I kind of like to see what she does. I like Kat.
A little shocking again, but yeah.
Miles Jury fighting Chad Mendez. That might be your big one.
Yeah.
Chad's been out 2 years.
Mendez has been out for a while. He's going to have
2 years.
some rust, I think.
And Miles Jury, I mean, he's hot and cold.
Miles Jury is great against people he should be able to beat, but man, if it's any kind of like, man, this might be a good fight. They're pretty evenly matched. He usually loses those.
Yeah. And then after that, you got a bunch of big names fighting a bunch of people I've never heard of.
Yeah.
Nico Price I've heard of fighting Randy Brown.
Yay.
Most creative name of all time.
Of course. Alias.
Dennis Bermudez
right.
fighting Rick Glenn.
Bermudez was one of those guys. I mean, the promotion thought he was going to be like really the face of their next. Because what is he? Bantamweight?
Featherweight.
Feather. They thought that he was kind of going to be it, and he's been it, all right. But you have to put an SH in front of that.
Kind of like the whole Uriah Faber thing.
Yeah.
Just cannot break through.
No.
Your co-main event, you got Sage Northcutt, who I guess he's not 19 anymore. He's probably 20 or 20. He might actually be able to have a beer now.
22.
Is he 22 now? God
yeah, but
damn.
The whole problem is he had said that that making that 155 cut was just too much. Well, fuck yeah. I mean, if you're that young and you're having that much of a problem with that weight cut, you have no business making it.
And we saw him fight in Austin. He did. I mean, he won his fight, but he did not look that good.
He hadn't looked good for a very long time, and he
that
only
first fight.
He only looks good against people that the promotion brings up specifically to fight him.
Yeah. The problem is once you get ranked, there's not a whole lot the promotion can do for you.
No,
unless it just totally wreaks a fix.
I think he's going to be over his skis at 170.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how he does. Junior Dos Santos fighting a debuting Blagoy Ivanov.
Go Ivanov, beat up that senior citizen.
Yeah, Junior Dos Santos has no more chin.
That dude is really close to being able to get his AARP membership. Yeah.
I was a big fan of juniors.
Yeah,
about 5 years ago.
Back in the 2000s.
No, that's pretty recent. It has the potential to be a really good card, and it probably will be a fine card.
Yeah. It'll be better than 226, I have a feeling.
Oh, and Eddie Wineland's fighting. Forgot.
Hey, there you go. Mr. Tattoo.
Yeah, Mr. All Tattoo. But yeah, after last week's UFC event really fucking took it out of my sales. I'm really glad I didn't make the hip shot fucking reaction of going to Vegas this weekend.
I really think, and and this is a message for future Kevin. If I'm going back and listening to old podcasts 1 year from now, don't think about going to International Fight Week. It is not going to pan out.
Or if you do, go to the Ultimate Fighter finale. It'll usually always be better.
Yeah. All right. Well, shit, that's it for us this week. On to the picks. Mead, I'm going to go Troublemaker.
I echo that statement wholeheartedly, my friend.
Let's see, on metal. I'm going to go with the Helter Skelter cover by Rob Zombie and Marilyn Manson.
Not a bad pick. I'm going with Tim Cappello.
Yeah, of course you are. And,
I still believe.
And Jesus. And MMA, I'm going to go Eddie Wineland because
I am picking Mighty Mouse. It's pound for pound best fighter in the world. It's bullshit that goddamn. Fucking forget it.
Yeah,
doesn't matter.
Promotion doesn't like him, and so therefore he's not going to get his due.
Fucking greatest to ever do it. And like people bitch about getting no respect. Everyone should go to Mighty Mouse's house and talk about not getting any respect.
Yeah, and the promotion says, well, he doesn't sell fights very well. Okay, well, it's a chicken and the egg.
Fuck that.
Maybe
That's primarily on them.
Maybe if you promote it, maybe that's the thing. Maybe
we'll put you on. We'll put you on the UFC 3 Icon Edition cover. Oh, cool. Am I getting a physical release? No.
Yeah.
But whenever anybody downloads it digitally, they'll see you with all your belts.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Thanks, guys. At least I'll get a little cheddar for that.
Right. All right. Well, we got beers to drink.
Damn, that made me mad.
Yeah.
Mighty Mouse doesn't get shit, man. I mean, he's fighting at the next pay-per-view, and he's co-main eventing yet again, which is smart because he'll still get paid big bucks for the Dillashaw Garbrandt.
Sure.
Because people going to pay to see that.
But the promotion's going to tell them, well, they weren't buying this fight for you, but no, well, fuck it. All right. We got a weekend to get into.
That's right. Balls deep.
Join us, you bunch of heathens. Again, if you want to donate to our musical causes around here, try to get this shit going visual, which I don't know, it's your cup of tea.
If you want to see us, it's up to you.
But help us out with a donation. We'll hook you up with some of our handcrafted items like Mead.
And I'm not fucking, there's handwork needs to be done.
Yeah.
Get a hold of me directly on that, though. Don't go through the Echoes of Ancients webpage. Find me on Facebook or Twitter.
Yeah, easy as that.
Or Reddit. I'm on Reddit.
Are you?
Whatever that is. What is Reddit? Not like it's just a big message board for nerds?
Bunch of girls, bunch of teenage girls.
Got it.
And boys that will never know the touch of a woman.
What a weird combo.
Yeah.
Nothing but ladies and dudes that don't know nothing about ladies.
Yeah, pretty much. All
right, let's go get drunk, man.
You bet. All right, here it is. Helter Skelter, Rob Zombie, Marilyn Manson. Worth a listen.
I got blisters on my fingers.